So welcome back all. Let's move to level 2 of Python programming. Hope you had explored Google Colab and you had done small two experiments. One was to print hello world and one more experiment, right? So to add two numbers, to multiply two numbers, right? Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had explored the Google Colab. Let's have a quick revision of what we discussed on level 1 and let's move to level 2. In level 1 we had just introduced about programming. You may be remembering the cup of tea, right? So programming is used to give instructions to computers also having lack of IQ, so it need instructions to do anything. For that programming is used. We discussed about why Python is being used. It's a popular programming language. Its syntaxes or coding is similar to English language. It supports various platforms also. The reason behind using Google Colab is it's an open source environment. We can execute Python through browsers by using an internet connectivity. It is offered by Google as a free service. There is no need of installing any particular application for running Google Colab. You can just use it from the browser. Even if you want to install it as a software on your computer, you can go for Anaconda, Canopy, Spider or Jupyter. Then we discussed about algorithms. Algorithms were step-by-step instructions or a well-defined instructions to solve a problem that we used to say to computers. Hereafter, when you solve any programming problem, the first thing you should think is what will be the algorithm for this? What will be the step-by-step procedures for this? Then only you should solve it. And some tasks were there. Hope it was easy for you. I had given hints to you as it is in the level 1. From level 2 onwards I will be reducing the hints. Then we had access to the Colab from this link, and I had introduced a game to you. And today the level 2 starts with the basic syntaxes of Python. First thing is print. Print is the statement, or print is the keyword that we use to display something to the user or to display something to the screen. If you type print within double quotes hello, it will just display hello in the output. So print is the statement, or print is a keyword that we use to print or to display something to the user or something to the screen. If you are printing some characters, you should mention double quotes, or even you can use single quotes. If you are printing some values, no need of double quotes. Like a is equal to 5 and you are going to print the value of a, that is print a, there is no need of double quotes. Hope you could understand it, right? Here it is fully, you want to display fully these characters, print hello, so it needs double quotes. In another example, a is equal to 5 and you are going to print the value of a, that is print a. There no need of double quotes because you are just going to take the value of a, take and print the value of a. Second is input. For example, a is equal to 5. There you are telling that the value of a is 5, right? But you want to read the value from the user who uses your program, or you want to take the value while running the program. Then you have to use the statement input. If you are telling like a is equal to input, enter the value, while running the program it will ask you to enter the value, and when you enter the value, that will be stored into a. That you'll get a clear idea when we go for the lab experiment. Another major thing is Python uses indentation. Indentation nothing but spacing. As an example, not consider the code segment right now. If 5 greater than 2, print 5 is big. See, there is a small spacing between if this line and this line. This is called as indentation. It will be coming automatically. If you keep print over here, this program may show some errors. So Python uses indentation to indicate its block of codes like this. Indentation nothing but spacing. Then for representing characters, or we will call characters otherwise strings, we need double quotes, or even we have to indicate in single quotes. Another option is called as comments. Comments is represented by the symbol hash. For example, there is a code, no need to consider the meaning of the code statement right now. If 5 greater than 2, print 5 is big. I am putting the hash symbol and I am telling sample code. Again I am putting the hash symbol and I am writing this is just a comment, it will not be executed. So comments, so that means if you put a hash and write something, it will never ever be executed. That statement will never ever be executed. Comments are just used to explain Python codes if necessary. It makes codes more readable. For example, I am preparing a huge program and I am going to transfer the program to you for studying. If I give the program simply to you, it may be difficult for you to understand the program. But if I am writing the comments side by side, you will be getting an idea what the line says. So you can write any comments after putting a hash symbol. It will never affect the execution of the program, right? So comments are used to explain the code or used to increase the readability or understandability of the code. It is not a mandatory one. If you want to transfer the code to someone else and they want to understand it by just reading, you can use comments. Comments are the statements that will never ever get executed. Another, which is variables. I am telling x is equal to 5 and y is equal to John. As string is here or characters are here, I am indicating it in double quotes. Here what happens is the value 5 is stored to x. The value John is stored into the variable y. So we can say variables are used for storing values. Here x and y I can call as variable. X and y are used to store two different variables. X stores the value 5 and y stores the value John. So variables are used for storing data values. And this x and y I will be calling as variable name, and 5 and John is the value for the variable. So there are some rules for mentioning variable names. First thing is, a variable name should begin with a letter. It may be from any letter from A to Z, small letter or even capital letter. Whatever you want to mention, you can mention. Or even you can start with the underscore symbol. That also you can use, no problem. A variable name cannot start with a number. You cannot, for example, you are declaring a variable 2x, it will not be possible. X you can declare. You can give the name of a variable as x, but you cannot declare the variable as 2x. That means you cannot start a variable name with a number. Variable name can contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. That is from A to Z, 0 to 9 and underscores. Small letters as well as capital letters can also be used. Variable names are case sensitive. It differentiates uppercase letters and lowercase letters. Age, see, age here is in fully small letter. Here A is capital. Here all the three letters are capital. These are three different variables. So in the program, if you mention AGE, you have to use AGE there onwards. Small letters itself. You are mentioning like this means you have to use like this. So it is case sensitive. If you are mentioning capital letters for calling that variable, you have to use capital letter itself. So variables are case sensitive. For declaring or for using a variable name or for naming a variable, there are certain rules. One is it should start with a letter or even with an underscore character. It can use small letters as well as capital letters, and it is case sensitive also. This is how to assign values to a variable. A is equal to orange. Here the value orange is being assigned to the variable A. B is equal to apple. The value apple is being assigned to the variable B. Another method I can write like this also. A comma B is equal to, within double quotes, orange, comma, within double quotes, apple. Likewise also I can assign the values to a variable. And if I want to read the value to a variable, for example, while running the program, I'm not going to assign like this, A is equal to orange before running the program. I want to read the value for the variable while running the program. Then I can use the statement A is equal to input, enter the value of A. Whatever you give in double quotes, it won't consider, it will be just displaying it. And just putting like enter the value, it will print enter the value. So while running, I want to collect the values for the variable A. So A is equal to input and the value of A. So while running the program, it will display something only, enter the value of A. And I am giving 5 as the answer. So that value 5 will be stored to the variable A while running the program. Here we had priorly assigned the value of the variable before running the program. Here we are collecting the value of the variable during running the program. So another thing, a small test. I am putting A is equal to 5. Small letter A is equal to 5. And I am putting print A and I am putting print capital A. Will this program work? Well, as Python is a line by line executor, or Python executes in line by line fashion, this line will get executed. It will print the value as 5. For this line, it will indicate errors. Why it may show errors? You had used small letter A in the variable name, and you are asking to print in capital letter A. Such a variable is not here, so Python will definitely show you errors. So what I would like to say is Python is case sensitive. Small the differentiate small letter A as well as capital letter A. Another important factor is called as data type. Just before you said X is equal to apple, Y is equal to orange, A is equal to 5. So what data type says is what kind of value is stored into the variable. X is equal to 5 means some numbers are stored. Y is equal to orange, some characters or some string is being stored. Likewise, what data type says is variable is having the capacity to store different types of data, and data type specifies what kind of data is stored in a variable. There are different categories: text or character category is there, numeric category is there, sequence category is there, mapping category is there, boolean category is there. First data type is string, which is represented as str. Example is X is equal to hello world. The value assigned to the variable X is hello world, which are characters or which are strings. So I could say it is a string data type. It's a string data type. And for handling numbers, 3 data types are there: integer, which is represented as int, floating point numbers, which is represented as float, complex is another one to deal with complex mathematical operations. Int can deal with whole numbers. Float can deal with decimal point numbers. Complex can deal with complex mathematical operations. I am telling x is equal to 20. There is no decimal points. Integer data type cannot handle numbers with decimal points. I am telling here x is equal to 20.5. Floating point data type can deal with numbers with decimal points. I am telling x is equal to 1j. It can deal complex data types, complex numbers. You might have studied vector calculus or even magnitude and all. For dealing all those things, for doing complex mathematical operations, we can use the function complex. And some more data types are there: list, tuple, range, dictionary and boolean. I'm not taking you to this now because we will be studying all this as a chapter itself in our training session, right? So just I'm skipping for this for now. You just keep an idea that there are some more data types called as list, tuple, range, dictionary and a boolean. We will be studying this as separate chapters in the training program. Operators and strings. So operators allows us to do operations with variables. You are telling a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, and you are print a plus b. So plus is the operator there, which helps you to perform operations with the variable a and b. Python has different operators: arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, identity operators and membership operators. Let us see the arithmetic operators. For all these examples, I am taking the value of x as 5 and y as 4. First operator is plus. Its name is addition. As an example, I am telling x plus y. Value of x I am taking throughout the example as 5 and 4. Y as 4. So x plus 5, that is 5 plus 4, which will be equal to 9. And another operator is minus, which is subtraction. X minus y, 5 minus 4, 1. Another operator is star, which is used for multiplication, or asterisk, which is used for multiplication. And telling x into y, that is 5 into 4, 20. Another option, division, x by y, that is 5 by 4, 1.25. Another important operator you may not be familiar, called as modulus, or percentage symbol in the keyboard. Percentage symbol in the keyboard called as modulus operator. I am telling 5 modulus 4. What it gives as an answer is the remainder in dividing 5 by 4. For example, I am dividing 5 by 4. So 4 will be getting included in 5 one time. So 4 will be there and 1 will be the remainder, right? 9 by 4, as an example, 9 by 4. So it will give you, whatever the modulus operation will give you the remainder of the division operation. And another operation is double star or exponential operator. We will call it as exponential operator. I am putting x star star y. The value of x is 5 and y is 4. So it will deal with exponential. So x star star 5 and the value of x is 5, which means 5 will be multiplied 4 times. 5 into 5 into 5 into 5, which is 625, right? Another operation is double slash, which name is float division. I am putting x double slash y. The value will be round, the answer will be rounded to the nearest whole number. Actually 5 double slash 4 is 1.25. When you divide 5 by 4, the answer is 1.25. So it will be rounded to the nearest integer. So as it is 1.25, it is rounded to 1. If it was 1.75 or above 1.5, it will be rounded to 2. So it is used to, floor division operator is used to round the final answer to the nearest whole number. So these are the various arithmetic operators supported in Python. Then assignment operators. Assignment operators are used to assign values. The first one is equal to. X is equal to 5. We are assigning the value 5 to the variable x. Plus is equal to. An example is x plus is equal to 3. You are putting in the code like x plus is equal to 3. The meaning is x is equal to the value of x presently plus 3. Similarly, minus is equal to. You can put in the code like x minus is equal to 3, which will reduce minus 3 from the present value of x. Multiplication is equal to 3. X into is equal to 3. The answer will be the current value of x will be multiplied with 3. Division is equal to. So you will be writing the program like x divided is equal to 3, which will divide the current value of x by 3. You are putting like modulus is equal to, which will, and you can write in the code like x modulus is equal to 3. You will be putting like x, the current value of x will be divided by 3 and its remainder will be stored to the variable x. Floor division operator is equal to. So x double slash is equal to 3, which will divide the present value of x with 3 and will round off the answer to the nearest integer, and that will be stored to the variable x. Double star is equal to x double star 3, which will multiply the value of x 3 times. If the value of x is 5, it will put like 5 into 5 into 5. Another operator is comparison operator. It is used to perform comparisons. First operator is double equal to. A is equal to 5 means you are assigning the value a 5 to the variable a. And if you are putting like a double equal to 5, the meaning is you are comparing the value of a with 5, right? So a is equal to 5 is assigning the value of 5 to the variable a, and a double equal to 5 means you are checking or you are comparing whether the value of a is equivalent to 5. So double equal, example is x double equal to y, means you are checking whether the value of x and y are same. You are putting like x is equal to y, means the value of y will be stored into x. X double equal to y means it will check whether the values are same. Not equal to, exclamation mark is equal to, that is not equal to, x not equal to y. It checks whether the value of x is not equal to y. Greater than, it checks whether the value of x is greater than y. Less than, it checks whether the value of x is less than y. Greater than or equal to, it checks whether the value of x is greater than or equal to y, and x less than or equal to y. It checks whether the value of x is less than or equal to y. So these are the various comparison operators. And logical operations. Logical operations are used to check relationships. We will say first operator is AND. AND is used to check two things. It will return true if both the things or both the statements are valid. As an example, I am telling x greater than 5 and x greater than 10. It will say true if both the things are correct. If the value of x is 15, it will say true. If the value of x is 8, it will check x greater than 5, yeah, it is correct, and x greater than 10, it is not correct, so it will say false. Or if any of the statement is true, it will print true. the value of x is 8, x greater than x less than 5, it will not work. It will print x less than 5, x value of x is 8, so it will say it will be false. X less than 4, the value of x is presently 8, so both are false, it will print false. Now let us take the value of x as 3, x less than 5, it is true, it will print true. X less than 4, x less than 4, it will print as true. So while using or, if any of this statement is true, it will print true. If this first segment is true and second segment is false, it will print true. While using and, both the statements need to be true. And not, it reverses the results, return false if the result is true. I am putting like not x greater than 5 and x greater than 10. If this is true, it will return the answer as false. Likewise, it reverses the answer. So and or not. You will getting a clear idea when we are using this in programs. So now, as it is theory part, you just note it down. These are the operators we can use. You will be getting a clear idea when you will be using the lab sessions. Identity operator is, it returns true if both variables are having same value. X is y. It checks whether the value of x is present in y. It will return true if the value of x is present in y, or else it will return false. Another operator is not. It will return true if both variables are not the same object. X is not y. It check whether the value of x is equivalent to y, whether the value of x is present in y. If it is present, it will display true, or else it will display false. Membership operators in, not in. It returns true if a sequence or a specified value is present in the object x in y. It will check whether any part of the value in x is present in any part of the value in y. It will return true in such a circumstance. Not in, x not in y. It checks whether any part of the value in x is present in any part of the value in y. If so, it will return true, or else it will return false.